everybody, it's me, voice actor Bobby G. Now, I decided to make this video to talk about a certain character from the My Little Pony franchise. I am, of course, talking about the main antagonist of the 2017 animated film My Little Pony the Movie, the Storm King! Yes, the goofy tyrannical conqueror himself. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about him is because he is very underrated. Not kidding, he's so very underrated. When the movie first came out back in 2017, a lot of people were very mixed on the Storm King. Because, they criticized him for his lack of screen time, character development, some of his comedic moments. People didn't really like his goofy personality at all. Because, he switches from one personality to the next. He can be serious, evil, and all of a sudden, he'll also become very goofy, man-child-like, And, people called him one of the weakest villains in the series. Yeah, there's other MLP villains that are much, 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 much weaker. Pony of Shadows, latter Equestria Girls villains, I'm looking at you all. I will agree on this. He's not as great as Lord T-Rex, King Sombra, Queen Chrysalis, and Cozy Glow. He's not as great as those villains, but here's why I like him. I enjoyed the character because Leah Schreiber did a very good job voicing him. And, I do like his goofy personality. I think it was very entertaining. He's kind of like Hades from Hercules, the Joker from Batman, and Aku from Samurai Jack. He's very similar to Aku, like very, very similar, because Aku has some serious moments too. But he's very, very goofy too, like extremely goofy, But that's kind of like the Storm King. He can be a very serious threat, but he can also be pretty freaking hilarious, If they gave him more screen time, he would have been a lot more memorable. And maybe, just maybe, a lot more people would have liked him more. Well, he's already slightly memorable, since he was mentioned many, many times in Season 8. His role in the IDW comics is amazing! He has made a slight impact on the show as a whole, and Hasbro actually made merchandise for him. Seriously, I actually got the figure itself, But they didn't make merchandise for Sombra and T-Rex. Come on, Hasbro, why did you not make figures for Sombra and T-Rex? Why? Well, actually, they were going to. They were actually going to make a Lord T-Rex figure. Guardians of Equestria. Yeah, there was going to be an action figure with Lord T-Rex. But it never got made. Dang it! That would have been so awesome, man! Ugh. But we did get the Storm King and Grubber figures, which I appreciate, Hasbro. Thank you for doing that. But even the voice actress for Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie, Andrea Lindman, has said the Storm King was her favorite villain. Yeah, Andrea Lindman. I remember that the writers really wished they could have done more with Storm King because he was such a fun character to write. He may not be the best MLP villain. That honor goes to Lord T-Rex. But the Storm King himself is an entertaining villain on his own. He's supposed to be this entertaining man-child who has gotten power, and when he got the staff of Sacanas, he plays with it like he just got a brand new toy. Yeah, I laughed so hard at that scene when I first saw it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, day, night, sunrise, sunset. It's hilarious. But again, if you still think that Storm King is a lame villain, it's all fine and dandy. I won't change your opinion. But that's one of the main reasons why I liked him. He is a really fun villain. I just wish they could have done more of him. He would have been up there with the likes of T-Rex and Sombra had they done a lot more of the Storm King. But sadly they didn't. He only got like a few bits of screen time, while Tempest is the one that does the most of the work for the Storm King. Which, I don't really mind the Storm King not having that much screen time, because they wanted to give Tempest Shadow a chance to shine herself, because she was such an interesting character, too. Yeah, because since they're kind of to do the Darth Vader Palpatine kind of route, where the secondary villain or the central villain usually gets more screen time than the main antagonist, you know? And sometimes even secondary antagonists can be a lot more interesting than the main antagonist. Rattlesnake Jake from Rango, for example. He's more of a fan favorite than the main antagonist in that movie. Same thing here. People really like Tempest Shadow a lot more than the Storm King, the main antagonist, you know? Same thing with Monsters Inc. You know, Monsters Inc. Randall Boggs is a much more fan favorite character than Waternoose, the main villain in that movie. I mean, I like movies with two villains in them, you know? I really like movies with two villains. That's why I like the Storm King personally, and why I think he's a good villain. I wish he could have been more well-liked, but nothing you can do about that, you know? But that's why I liked him. People say that I have unpopular opinions, which I won't disagree with you on that. I do have unpopular opinions. But you know, that's one of my unpopular opinions. I think Storm King is a good villain, in my opinion. Same thing with Sombra. People say that he was a lame villain too, but I like him. I love King Sombra. I think he was a great villain overall, you know. I know it's funny that T-Rex, you know, who's my new favorite villain now, there's not that many people that didn't like T-Rex, you know. I mean, a lot of people love T-Rex. I've seen some people who say that Chrysalis was not a good villain. I've seen some people say that before. I've seen a lot of people say that Koziglo was a terrible villain. I've seen a lot of people saying that Sombra's a terrible villain. But I've never seen anyone who says that T-Rex was a lame villain. Ever. I've never seen anybody say that T-Rex was a bad villain. Ever. And now, it's cool. It's good because that's awesome, you know? I'm glad that T-Rex is so well liked in the community, you know? And that's good. That's what makes a perfect villain. And Lord T-Rex was a perfect villain, in my opinion. In comparing him to Storm King, yeah, Storm King doesn't have a chance. Nope, does not have a chance. But I will say that on his own, as a villain on his own, I still think he's a good villain himself. He's not the best villain, but he's a good villain. But yes, that's why I like the Storm King. Tell me if you guys like the Storm King or not. If you don't like him, tell me why you don't like him in the comments below. If you do like him, comment down below and see why you liked him, you know, but no arguing. I don't want to see that in my comic section, you know. No, none of that. Just a very civil discussion about why you like this character, why you don't like this character. And tell me why you don't like him or don't like him, you know. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.